Welcome back to Austin's Yap Garden. That's right, here I am. Here I am, bro. And today I'm just gonna tell you a simple thing, okay? Stop living in misery. Yes, you watching this video, I need you to do one thing, and that's to stop living in misery. Because a lot of us, right? Because I have like quite a number of friends, right? But I'll say some of my main friends, right? I know them very well, and sometimes I talk to them, right? And when I talk to them, this is what happens. Something's bad maybe is going on in their life, right? And I'm trying to reassure them. I'm trying to, make them a bit more positive. But each and every time they just keep falling back to the same trap of living in misery. No matter how much solutions I can give them or how much comfort I can give them, right? They keep going to this idea of living in misery. But I can't even blame them once because I've been there. I am there. I've been there. Okay, if there's anyone who knows how to live in misery, it's me. So many bad things have happened in my life. So many. Like, I'm not going to go into detail, right? Because I don't think it's a good thing. But let me just tell you, if there's anyone who knows what suffering is, if there's anybody who knows what loss is, it's me. I've gone through bad stuff, bro. Right? And back in the days, I would generally let this bad stuff get to me. I would let it consume me. It would be like a demon on my left shoulder consuming me. It would hurt. It would be terrible. And that led me to develop an internal dialogue that was against me. The voice in my head was against me. It would tell me I'm not good enough. It would tell me I'm too fat because I used to be a bit plump as a kid. So it would tell me I'm too fat. It would tell me I don't deserve that girl. It would tell me all these things. It would tell me I'm ugly. It would tell me I'm not worthy of any sort of love. It would tell me I'm poor. It would tell me I'm all these things, right? And every single time I would obey that internal dialogue because that was the only person that was talking to me 90% of the day when I wasn't in school, when I was talking to my family, when I was alone. Like that was the voice talking to me in my head, my internal dialogue, which was against me. And that is such a common thing that I've noticed amongst many people. And it keeps you living in a trap of misery. It kept me living in a trap of misery where every single day I would maybe have a happy face, but I would be internally just destroyed. I would be such a destroyed person internally. And what I've come to realize is that I don't want to get into too much scientific mumbo jumbo, but maybe I'll do that in one video. But when you have miserable thoughts, that is going to lead to a miserable reality. So I was having these miserable thoughts, and that's what led to my miserable reality, right? And thank God that one day, one random day, I came upon the field of self improvement, right? I used to watch like a lot of these self improvement guys, like earlier on, and that eventually led me into the field of looking into the deeper consciousness, the deeper mind, stuff like that. And that's when I came to realize that maybe a reason that I'm having this miserable reality is because my thoughts are incredibly miserable, right? I learned about the law of reversibility. Instead of going to feel something because something happened, you feel that way first and then something will happen. So I was feeling miserable, which led to my miserable reality, law of reversibility. But if I can engineer that once more and say that, okay, let me feel happy and then happy things will start happening in my reality, then boom, I just use the law of reversibility to my advantage and good things are happening. So I started being more happy, right? Things like some bad things still kept happening, but I kept that positive attitude. I kept that, you know what, I can go through this. You know what, I'm built for more. You know what, I can actually do something significant with my life, right? I kept that rooted in my mind constantly, 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 and boom, great things started happening in my life. I started doing better in school, started getting top performing, started doing better in my speaking career, started doing better in everything, right? I even started looking better. I even grew taller. I grew taller because of this, right? And yeah, bro, it's all I'm saying is, all jokes aside, but I don't think that's a joke, but all jokes aside, I think that a big reason that I am where I am today is because I stopped living miserably, because I know some people who will continue to live in the misery. And one thing I've realized is that misery is addicting. It's nice to live in misery. It's nice to live in your sorrows. It's nice to live in a way that you hate life. It's nice to be in pain. It's nice. It's comforting. It's a toxic comfort. It's like a toxic ex that you keep going back to, that misery that you have. It's so comforting because it's so hard to reverse that. It's so hard to live a life of happiness, but it's so much easier to live a life of misery. But you know what, right? As easy as it is to live a life of misery, We know that one secret of life is that the harder way is always going to be the better way, right? The road to heaven feels like hell, but the road to hell feels like heaven. So if you decide to take the harder road and take the harder road of pursuing that happiness by being happy, faking it till you make it, LARP, 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 generally just LARP, LARP. You don't have to feel happy, but you can be happy, and then the happiness will start feeling. Okay, you can fake it, smile, be happy. It doesn't have to be, it might be a bit fake in the beginning, right? But eventually, you're just gonna catch on to it. Because if I wanted to get muscles, would I just sit there and hope for muscles? No, I start going to the gym. Or to act like someone who goes to the gym and then the muscles are gonna come. It's not gonna be the other way around. It's not muscles first, then I go to the gym. It's gym first, then I get the muscles. Same thing, right? It's not the feeling of happiness coming first. It's the act of being happy, living as a happy person, doing what the happy people do, and then the happiness will come. Because I'll tell you this, why would you decide to live a life of misery? There is no return on investment. The return on investment is nonsense. It's more misery, right? You only live once, so why are you going to decide to live and waste your precious time being miserable? There is no good return on investment. I will always tell anybody and everybody this. The return on investment is everything. Cause and effect. Everything you do is going to have an effect. Everything you do will have a return on investment, right? So what are you putting in to get a return on investment? And I'll tell you what, right? Me and you could both experience heartbreaking losses, but you gonna decide to live in misery. Well, I'm gonna decide to process it and move on and be happy because I understand that my life is so limited and I gain nothing. I don't gain anything by living in misery. You gain nothing. Get out of it. Stop it. And you can. Because I've been in the gutters. I've been in the ends, bro. And I got out of it. I've been in bad situations, but I got out of it. Right? Live in happiness. That is my principle. Live in happiness, guys. You got this. If you are an AYG subscriber, you got this. Okay? As I was just speaking right now, someone called me on the phone and told me that they want me to come somewhere and they'll pay for me. Right? Good things just come to my life because I act like good things come to my life. Live happy. Be happy. Stop being miserable because you gain nothing. You gain nothing, fam. Nothing at all. Like and follow for more. Oh, we're on YouTube here. Subscribe for more because I make these kinds of videos like a couple times a week. Bye.